Hi, gorgeous.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, my love. How are you?
I'm doing good. I like you look like so cozy.
So this is the first one of these I've actually gotten to do like from my house.
Oh, really?
Everybody, yeah, well, because like everybody else has been quarantining at home, and I've still been lucky enough to go to the radio station. So all of mine have been
Oh,
at the station, but today we scheduled this early enough where I was like, maybe I can sit at home on my bed and do this. So I'm very
sick.
excited. But you look
Oh, I'm so
fabulous.
glad.
Thank you for being with us today. How's everything going? How's quarantine life?
Oh, thank you for saying that. Everything is honestly really good. I've totally recognized my privilege and all this. My family's safe. I'm safe and home, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I feel really lucky. Been just kind of going hard on writing a lot of music and obviously hanging out with people like you and promoting Moral of the Story. And it's just been like, I don't know, it's been a really cool experience for me, which I don't know how relatable that is, but it's been good.
But like, you know what it is though? I think that it's really perspective. Again, you have to count your blessings. If everybody still has their jobs, if we're not worried about where the next meal is
Right.
going to come from, or making rent or a mortgage payment, I think it's a little bit easier to kind of step back and look at the benefits to being able to, kind of hunker down with the people that we don't often times get to spend enough time with anymore, especially when I'm sure you've been just
Yeah.
crazy pants. I mean, you've been working for a while. For folks who don't know, I know we have a lot of your fans on here. But like to anybody that listens to his 97.3, Ashe has been doing her thing, especially, and I didn't realize how much of a dance background you had.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Honestly, I don't realize it either. I forget all of the time. So you're not alone.
but it's crazy. So, and of course, in Miami, we're big into that. Like, we love our EDM. We love Ultra Music Festival. It was one of the things that we
Oh,
were,
ultra.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever gotten a chance to take the stage at Ultra with anybody that you've worked with, or?
I'm surprised I haven't because I mean I've worked with Weethan, Lewis the Child, Sean Frank, all of them I think have crushed Ultra.
Yes,
But
honey.
no, I don't think I did the boat. There was a boat EDM boat cruise ship thing I went on once with
Was that
Sean
the Major
Frank.
Laser one? Was that the Major Laser cruise?
I think so. Yeah.
Probably.
And I got to do that, but I've never got to go to Ultra. I feel like I missed out too because I'm probably closing the dance chapter in my
Yeah.
life. But
I
I should definitely go one day for sure.
just think it's one of those things where I think everybody, if you ever get a chance to take a stage, because I'm sure you done any festivals? Did you do Coachella?
I did. I sang at Coachella with both Big Gigantic and Weethin. Like for
Crazy.
2, 3 years ago. I don't know. A while
Yeah.
ago.
Like, I mean, obviously stadium concerts, I mean, arena concerts, small intimate venues are all phenomenal. But I always, when I see artists that get to perform at festivals like Tomorrowland or Glastonbury or Ultra or Coachella, and you're looking at like those, especially now that we have drone shots, right? Those aerial shots
Oh,
when it's just like a sea of
crazy.
people. I can't even imagine what that's got to feel like. That's on par with like being a football player that gets to play in the Super Bowl, or a soccer player that gets to play in the World Cup in front of 100,000 screaming fans, right? Like, it's just got to be crazy energy.
Yeah, it's definitely another that was my I think maybe the biggest I've ever the time I sang at Coachella was I think to 15,000 people and I remember being like I don't know if I'm ever gonna sing to this many people again. This is absolutely bonkers. It was really cool.
Well, girl, something tells me you most definitely will be singing to crowds of 15 and 20 and 30, and more. But I also didn't realize, I always love when I get to get a little backstory on artists, and I find out that you guys went to the Berkeley School of Music. I'm from Boston. Um,
Oh,
yeah, my cousin
cool.
actually went to Berkeley, and he was probably there around a similar time as you. Um, but like Bryce
Oh,
Vine went there, Charlie Puth. I mean, the list of artists that have come out of that
John
space.
Mayer.
So it's one of the guys I think from like the Chili Pepper. I think I was looking
Do you
today
remember
just at
that guy,
alumni.
Do you remember that guy, Gavin DeGraw?
Yeah, yeah, I think
He
so.
he went there for a while. It's pretty
Yeah, no, it's
random.
it's impressive the line of people. But For any of our younger people that are watching right now, as far as that experience and getting to be around, I think, you know, the one thing that when I talk to artists about going to Berkeley or to a Juilliard or to anywhere where you just get to be around really like-minded creatives, what is that, you know, what is that like? How did that help you grow as a songwriter?
Ooh.
What was that
Ooh,
experience?
that's so good. You know, Berkeley for me, it was good for me in a lot of ways. I was going through a lot of stuff back home, and so getting 3,000 miles away from the Bay Area was needed for me. And so I think just like relocation was really important. And I grew up in it was sort of small, conservative, narrow a little bit. And so going to Berkeley, it was like blasted open my mind with a bunch of different viewpoints. And yeah, it was really, really good for me. And then obviously you definitely constantly feel like you suck because everyone around you is so talented. And I remember feeling like, because at Berkeley there's like the Berkeley stars, and I remember I was never a Berkeley star. I was never one of the like people in the forefront, you know, that they like put on the front of their magazine to like send out to the world. You'd be like, oh, of course she's on the cover, of course. And I'd be like, man, I didn't get on the cover. So I never felt like Berkeley was really good for me, but it's so competitive. I think it was as much good for me to leave as it was to stay. And yeah, it's just like life, you know.
You know what? I think that's a great, probably kind of precursor to the industry, right? Because kind of how the music business is too. You can be ridiculously talented, but if you don't necessarily have the look, or you miss the door by 20 seconds, you might have to wait a little longer before the door reopens for you. So it probably teaches you humility, but at the same time, Justin Tranter's another one who went there, which just totally,
Really?
girl, yes, he graduated in 2001, and I think that was when I was like, holy, just from a
and
songwriter.
He graduated.
Yeah,
I feel like all the famous people don't graduate. It's like the Berkeley curse.
He's asterisk, so maybe he didn't. I don't know. It said 2001. He's a little bit older, so he probably went in around 97. So if he didn't graduate,
I love that. I hope he graduated, because I graduated and I was like, yeah, I did. And I was like, crap, the curse is upon me.
I love that you said that, though, because if you're so talented, then why would you graduate, right? Like then they just snatch you up and your career is off and running. Girl,
you sign a record deal while you're in Berkeley, and then you have to drop out because your life is too fabulous. Yeah.
You know, it's so funny. That feels very high school, though. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but you know how, like, I tell my friends all the time, I'm like, God, I'm so happy I didn't peak in high school. Like, that's one of the things I say to young kids all the time. I'm like, if you're not the coolest in high school, be grateful for that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Because for some folks, and there's nothing wrong with that, but that will be the best, you know, they're going to spend the next 40 or 50 years reminiscing on when they were 16 or 17. And think for you're just at the beginning of this epic journey, and you have your whole life in front of you that's only going to keep going. So yes.
Oh, thanks.
Be grateful you didn't peak at Berkeley, girl.
I did not peak. I did not peak at Berkeley. For damn sure.
You know, it's another thing too. I'm watching these comments from your fans, and they're talking about how, you know, inspiring and how, you know, relatable your music is and how your lyrics really connect to them. And I think it's interesting because I know you kind of alluded to your younger years, like, you know, your upbringing in a more conservative, more kind of, let's say, blinders on one track kind of focus area. And I think it's just such a great testament, to what art can do for you and music and expression, but B, also the fact that you're not limited by your experiences, you know what I mean? Or by where you're born or what other people may think should be your path. And I think that you're a great testament. So can you maybe talk a little bit about that and finding your voice and finding the strength to really step away and go 3,000 miles across the country just to pursue your passions?
Whew. I mean, that's okay. Start recording for the podcast. I feel I have so many feelings about what you just said, so let me see if I can process them. I think that, yes, you know, our environment does obviously influence, you know, who we are and who we become. But I do think that a lot of times we'll sort of fall victim to be like, okay, well, this is my reality, and we just accept that and don't go like, you have so much more power over your own life. I mean, I sound like a personal development, like personal coach or some shit, but I mean, you have so much more authority over your life and your existence. And I think that I needed to get away from home and just experience a bunch of new life around me. But I've known since I was pretty young that, you know, you live and die by your own sword sort of thing. And
Yeah.
I always felt like if I'm not going to be successful, it's going to be my own fault. And I think we are all sort of our own worst enemy, and we're also our own like best advocate too.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that answers, this is like a really deep
though.
Instagram live that we're having, but I love it.
It's like when they give us extra time, you know, normally like when you guys come to the radio station, unless we have kind of like a jam session set up or like whatever, it's very 10 minutes, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, get to the album.
Yeah.
But this has kind of changed the game a little bit. Like when they tell me I have 30 minutes with somebody and there's not like a meet and greet afterwards that's going to take up 20 of it, I'm like, oh,
it's kind of lovely.
And I'm sorry because like you just have a great story. And I think that when I get to talk to female artists, especially that really are in tune with their own voice and aren't afraid to kind of share the missteps and the stumbles along the way. I just think that it's really inspiring, especially, you know, in this era of social media and this space where people are reaching out and connecting in such different ways. And I think that we're just at this place where folks want a true authenticity from their artists. You know what I mean? It's not like when we talk about pop music and even in dance, you know, it's there's that feeling that kind of overtakes you, right? Like when you're in the EDM world, that's escapism at its finest, right? They go to these festivals and they're just out of their minds with joy in the music. I mean, they can be out of their minds in a lot of ways, but the music, there's just that feeling there when you're around so many people and that energy just kind of takes you over. And then there's what pop is kind of becoming, which is this whole different experience, right? It's very real, which it didn't used to be. And now there's this level of
I think it did. It's very like it comes in waves. I think there was an era where I mean, even like pop music in like the 70s was pretty like singer-songwriter focused. Like Carole King was winning Grammys, you know. People like the Byrds were on pop radio. So it's like definitely it comes in waves, but I think we sort of, you know, and God love pop music for what it is, but we definitely took a dive for a little while into like singing about nothing for a bit.
Well, that bubble gum, you know, I think what happened was we ended up, we started really breaking down music, right, into different genres. So you had indie pop, and you had rock, and you had alt, and you had hip hop, and you had this. And I feel like artists are getting back to this place because you guys you're a different generation, and you were raised you listen to all of it, right? That's the beauty of music genius. And it's like, you know, it's happening. I remember having these conversations with industry people, and they were talking about the impact that like streaming music was having on the industry, because if you listen to something, then they recommend other artists at the bottom, right? And they could be artists that are at a completely different genre, but maybe it's an artist that you love. So because you mentioned Carole King in an IG live, right now, if I go to stream your music, at the bottom, it might say influenced by, and here, check out Carole King. And that's so amazing because
I think that's so important.
But you got this wave of artists, you're influenced by so many different sounds. You have the classics, the Motowns, the 70s, you know, that great 80s pop, which again, ran the gamut. Rock, you had soul up in there, you had Tina Turner, you had Michael Jackson, you had Sting, you had Phil Collins. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand what you're talking about, because pop music in the 80s was just amazing music. But then we got into this wave.
Madonna.
Yes, like, and look at how her music has lasted the test of time. She doesn't remember the lyrics all the time, but we do.
Neither do I. I don't know how people. Oh, you have a kitty. Hello, kitty.
Oh God. Hi, Vanetta. That's my 1 year. She has 1 year. She's my 1-year bully.
What's her name?
Vanetta, like as in Van Gogh. Her name is Vanetta Go.
Vanetta. Vanetta, go.
You're famous, V. You're famous.
Come here, kitty, kitty, kitty. I want to play so bad.
She's stealing the show right now. She has.
I need a pet. I really could use a pet.
This would have been the perfect time to get a pet.
I know, but this is not going to last, you know? This, as we all hope and desire, it will end, and I will be on the road 24/7.
You will.
I can't do that. I have a fish, and I have an automatic fish feeder. So I don't have to worry about my fish, but I couldn't.
I think cats, because they're a little more independent than dogs. Dogs are extremely needy, and I love them. Do you have
to train cats, or do they just know? Not at all.
No,
they just know where to go and what to do.
They where to go to them is it's Gymboree up in here for them. This is like this is their house. I just kind of rent space from them.
Yeah, you're renting.
They run the show. As far as music goes, though, when we were talking about just all the different sounds, working with Finneas.
You don't want to talk about my fish anymore?
We 100% can. I just think like girl, like enough with her cat. We don't care. Like we love the glasses. We love this look that she's giving us. Like but working with Finneas. If that doesn't say I made it, I don't know what does. Like, good God, producer of the year, Jesus.
Yeah, and deserving of every single title he's ever gotten. You know, working with him, and I get this question a lot, and I every time I answer it, I'm like, I want to do the experience justice, because it's always been so incredible to know him and to write with him, but it's so casual, and like he's so like he's just like one of my really good friends, so it's like working with your family, you know. So I don't want to take away from how massive and lucky I am to work with him, but it's always been, you know, I've known him for I think well over 3 years, well, maybe 4 years, and you know, he wasn't famous then.
He wasn't Finneas.
He wasn't Finneas. He was Finneas. He was Finn, but he wasn't Finneas, you know.
Yeah, he wasn't the one-word name that everybody now knows. It's like
and I've always known he was a genius, and I've said it since the day I met him, which is why I was like, man, I gotta stay close to this man. I gotta keep just near, like when people would try to touch Jesus's robe, I'm like, I gotta get close to Finneas's robe, because I just need, if you like touch it, you will be blessed. Yeah.
Yeah, like just rub a little bit of that on me, and
yeah, I mean, he's just and he's just so good inside out. Yeah, he's really special to me.
That's so nice to hear, though, like, honestly, and to anybody, I've had the opportunity to sit in on studio sessions in Miami on the rare occasion, and it's such an insane process. Like, producers are their own beasts. Like, they're like, the way that they kind of hear music and the way that they see a song come together, like in their minds, is so, and I know they're all different, but it's like, I didn't realize how many producers can actually sing and will jump in the booth and be like, hey, try it this way. You know what I mean? And then like the engineer, it's just a very cool process. But like, what's your favorite part? Because you're obviously, you know, you play the piano, you're a vocalist, you write your own songs, you have to get in the studio, you love to perform. Do you have, if you had to kind of rank those in order, what's your fave?
Ooh.
I know, kind of like picking your baby. Like, who's your favorite?
Tough. I mean, I think if you want to be successful, you should love all the aspects of making music and being a music artist. I would definitely say the writing and just sitting down at the piano, that ranks probably number one for me. But taking what you've written and performing it in front of a bunch of people who are shouting the lyrics back at you, that's priceless. So it's hard to rank. I would probably say number one is just writing the song, because it's like you can't get to performing without writing.
Writing,
Ugh,
yeah.
hair in my mouth. Ugh, ugh. Sorry. Ugh. Um, so yeah, I feel like it's got to start with the music and loving what you make first, and then obviously performing is pretty wonderful.
Is there
So
anybody that you want to write for, work with, collab with? Like, is there anybody that you hear and you're like, oh my God, I would just love to do a song with them?
okay, well, I really would love to work with Harry Styles. I just
Ooh.
feel like I just I feel like he gets me. He doesn't know me, but he gets
Your
me.
vibes are super, like, even just the way you're dressed, like your style vibes right now. He'd probably gank you for those glasses though. Like if y'all were in the studio together, you might walk out minus a pair of shades.
Honestly, he can have them. They're like $10 on Amazon. I don't buy fancy shit. Oh, sorry.
No, yes, honey. God, I love you. I loved you when we started this, but I really love you now, girl.
Oh, I love
Please.
you
Drop all the four-letter words you want. Like that's been my favorite part of IG lives, is because obviously I cannot swear on the radio. Like I can't. It's an FCC regulation, and we get fined, and that's just a big no-no. But in
too. Can
this
you
space,
say damn on the radio?
yes.
On
I
pop
think so,
radio.
because I definitely do. I feel like what the hell, like you can get away with the B word a little bit, which is
Mm.
in context. I definitely say damn. You cannot say shit. You definitely can't drop F bombs on the radio. You know what I mean? You're
No.
supposed to be careful with ass, but like I will definitely call somebody an ass hat on the radio. Like that was a straight
Oh,
ass hat
but
moment.
adding the hat makes it feel less aggressive.
There
Like
you go.
you're being an ass hat. It feels like you're being an ass. It
Yep,
feels way less aggressive, right?
I
Huh,
got you. Yeah, yeah,
interesting.
yeah, it does. So that's just gonna be. So maybe I should try that with other four-letter words too. Just add an extra word at the end. You're being a shithead.
Don't.
No, that doesn't.
I thought you were gonna try the F word. I was like,
No,
wait.
no. There's nothing that can make the F word seem less aggressive. I
No,
don't
that's
think
why it's so good.
that's. It's the best one out of all of them. Out of all of
The
them.
best one.
So Harry Styles, we need to put that out into the universe. I think that would be absolutely amazing. I would love to hear you
My
guys
hair be
cover something.
crazy.
Like I'd love to hear an original song, but I would love to hear you guys like do, I don't know, something from like the 70s. I don't know.
Oh, I
Something
would
really
love to cover
great and
something with him.
soulful. Like I see that happening at like an award show or something. You know, like when they do like the
Ooh.
montages or they do like the blast from the past stuff and they
You
bring
know
back.
what would be sick is if we did Ain't No Mountain High Enough. Right?
Yes!
That would be
Oh my
insane.
God. Oh, you just gave me chills.
I'm gonna put it out into the
Yes.
universe. Dear
Yes, yes,
Harry
yes.
Styles, see
We're
me, know
manifesting that.
me. Yeah.
Everybody on this
I'm gonna
live
start
right now.
journaling it
Yes.
every single day. Harry Styles, Ain't No
Can I
Mountain High
tell you
Enough. Harry
something
Styles.
though? Y'all could probably drop that as a track. Like I think that our listeners would be open to that. I don't think that first of all, it's in a bunch of movies. People know the song. That song
Right.
transcends generations, right? Like there's a
So
4-year-old out there right
good.
now that knows all the words to Ain't No Mountain. Like
I
straight
was
up.
the 4-year-old who knew
There
Ain't
you
No
go.
Mountain High Enough.
And speaking of
Oh,
movies,
that's
because I know we're gonna
great.
get to you performing a little bit. At least that's what they told me. Like quick. You were in one of my favorite. This is so terrible, but whatever. So, P.S. to all the boys
Yes,
that are out
admit
there,
it.
was one of my favorite Netflix movies from like 2019. Like I felt, or 20, whenever the first one came out, I think I watched it 3 times the first weekend it dropped, like 3 times.
So good.
When they dropped the sequel or whatever, the part 2, I was so excited. Like I made my mom watch it. I made my mom watch the first one too.
Nice.
Age is a great movie, but I have to tell you, like the thing about great, I feel like we're getting back to that John Hughes 80s kind of
Mm-hmm.
brat packy movie, right? Like Breakfast
Ooh,
Club,
John
16
Hughes.
Candles. That to me is what, To All the Boys kind of feels like. And the thing about those movies was the soundtracks were almost as important as the acting and the storyline.
Yeah.
The music in those movies was so important. Like think about Footloose, right? Or like you think about some of these classic 80s
Woo.
movies and the soundtracks made them. And
Mm-hmm.
P.S. I Love You is kind of, or I Still Love You is like that. And you have a song on there that's like the biggest song off the soundtrack. I mean, what did that
Yeah.
do for you? How did that, like, because that had to have been like, because that was what was trending. The show was trending, and then the song was trending. It was crazy.
It was very weird. I mean, I remember, so we knew the song was going to be in the movie. I didn't know when it was going to be in the movie or how long, but slowly, as I watched the movie and it got to my song and she started lip singing it, I lost my mind. I was a goner. It was just the most surreal experience. And I remember me telling my boyfriend before we watched it, I was like, this could be really good for my career. It was like, I have no idea what it's going to be like, but it could be really good. And then like the next day there was like 120,000 plays on Moral in one day. And then the next day there was like 500,000 streams on Spotify in one day. And then we were reaching 1 million in one day and then 2 million in one day. And I was like, what is actually happening? I'm still pretty much, and I use this joke a lot, but I'm still waiting for Ashton Kutcher to just jump out and be like, you have been punked. This is all a big joke, you know?
It's not going to happen, girl. Sorry. The only thing Ashton Kutcher is going to do is say, hey, do you want to write another song for something I'm producing? I think that's where we're going to get to, but it's
Call me, Ashton.
Right. How that you go? Mila could call too, because I think Mila's just dope. His wife, that's the dopest of his wives. But anyway, I digress. She's a whole
You have a favorite wife.
Yeah. Mila Kunis is my favorite Ashton Kutcher wife ever.
She's my favorite wife. They're still together.
Yes. Yeah, I think that one's gonna last. There's a lot of like simpatico there. Like that's
yeah.
They're silly together. They just they kind of grew up together. They were on that 70s show.
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, I love that. Obviously, I love that show.
Well, I feel like what you're giving me right now, you could 100% be. If they did a reboot of that 70s show, girl, leading role. You got to.
Oh my gosh, how cool would that be? I don't know that I can act, but I would try.
That's all we ask of you. That's all we ask is that you try. Now, I know we're running out of time, and I know that folks in the comments want to hear moral of the story. Are we going to get a chance to hear that today?
I would love to play it for you. I haven't warmed up today, which I do. I know this is happening, but I always forget. But I will move you over here, and hopefully my voice won't crack. We'll find out. All right. Welcome to my piano. Okay. Oh. All right. So, do you want the whole shebang?
Whatever you're willing to give us, we'll take, Ash.
All right. That one piece of hair is just still in my mouth. Just dude. Sorry. Really should have warmed up. So I never really knew you. God, I really tried to. Blindsided, addicted. Thought we could really do this, but really I was foolish. Hindsight, it's obvious. Talking with my lawyer, she said, where'd you find this guy? I said, young people fall in love with the wrong people sometimes. Some mistakes get made, that's alright, that's okay. You can think that you're in love when you're really just in pain. Some mistakes get made, that's alright, that's okay. In the end, it's better for me. That's the moral of the story, babe. Ooh. I have to like not read the comments as I'm playing. They're so cute.
I know, they're loving it. They're loving it. Keep going.
Oh my gosh. It's funny how memory turns into a bad dream when running wild turns volatile. Remember how we painted our house just like my grandparents did? So romantic, but we thought the whole time. Should have seen the signs, yeah. Talking with my mother, she said, where'd you find this guy? I said, some people fall in love with the wrong people sometimes. Some mistakes get made, that's alright, that's okay. You can think that you're in love when you're really just in pain. Some mistakes get made, that's alright, that's okay. In the end, it's better for me. That's the moral of the story, babe. Woo, 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 They say it's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. Well, that could be a load of shit. I can say it, but I just need to tell you, oh, some mistakes get made, that's alright, that's okay. You can think that you're in love when you're really just engaged. Some mistakes get made, that's alright, that's okay. In the end, it's better for me. That's the moral of the story. Some mistakes get made, that's alright, that's okay. Some mistakes get made, that's alright, that's okay. Yeah.
I was like, there's no way. I wish I had a crowd noise I could pipe it. Okay, so first of all, Lil Miss, I didn't even warm up. I'm going to co-sign all your fans here who are like, girl, she didn't even need to. Where did that high note come from on a not warmed up? Holy shit. Jesus.
Sometimes I get lucky. Here, I'm going to be back. Sometimes I get lucky, and then I've done this before on IG Live, and it'll be like, okay, and it'll just crack, and I'll be like, no, but I'm human, so it's cool. Whatever.
Amen. And the lyrics of that song, I don't know, a person who can't relate, and just the talent level is crazy. And your vibes just make you even better. You're dope. You're dope. I've been so blessed. Like, I've had a lot of great interviews during this crazy time, but it's like, it makes me so excited for when we do kind of get back to doing what you guys love to do, because there's so many talented people out there, you of course being one of them, and I can't wait to get to Miami so we can see you on a stage and live, or have you at the station. Ireland's checked in, South Africa's checked in. You've got people all over the world that just want to see you.
I saw Brazil. Hi, Brazil, what's good? I would really love to visit Miami soon, and definitely when this is all over. I mean, I'll visit the station, but let's you and me actually like go get coffee or drinks or something.
Girl, wherever we can go, and we can curse, and we can talk music, and we can talk vibes and manifestation.
F-bomb all day.
and not peaking in high school and college. We can talk about that too. You know what I'm saying?
You didn't peak in high school?
Nope. And grateful for it. Just like you didn't peak at Berkeley, and now look at you, Berkeley. But I will tell you this, you're on their list of notable alumni.
Am I?
Yes, honey. You are on there.
How do you know that? How do you find that out?
I was on there today before we got on here. I was looking up Berkeley. I was like, let me see who went there in addition to, and you're on there. So yes,
really?
Congratulations, girl.
Oh, yeah, they better recognize.
Who cares if you weren't on the cover of the magazine? You're one of the names listed when people Wikipedia the damn school. So clearly you're doing something right. You're absolutely amazing.
I'm going to call the dean. Thank you.
What's up with music? Just before you jump off real quick, what can we be looking out for? Obviously, moral of the story, you've got the 2 EPs out. What else is coming?
There's a bunch of stuff coming. I can't say too much, but a bunch of really incredible things are happening, and I can't wait till I can tell the whole world. But yeah, new music's coming soon. My next single is basically prepped and ready to go. just working with the best people in the entire music industry, and I feel so lucky. And yeah, it's gonna be a wild rest of 2020. I feel really excited.
Girl, you're one of those people, though. Please don't ever undersell or short sell yourself. When you talk about being blessed to work with those people, they're blessed to be able to work with somebody as talented and
Oh,
just insightful and crazy dope as you. So again,
thanks.
Ashe Music, new music is coming. We can't wait for it. Harry Styles, we're putting it out there. Ain't no mountain high enough.
Harry ain't no mountain. You call him.
Yeah, girl, cause I got him on speed dial. As soon as I get off of here, I'm gonna call him up. I'm gonna be like, she's got these glasses that you're gonna love, Harry.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we're gonna make it happen. But be safe, stay healthy. We can't wait for new music, and we can't wait to see you in Miami. And I'm gonna hold you to those drinks, okay?
Let's do it. I'm down.
All right, baby. Mwah. Bye.
All right. Bye.